This is the meeting point for residents in the state's first sustainability street. They get together once a month under the jacaranda tree in rain, hail or shine. They gather to swap produce and talk about ways to reduce their water and energy consumption.
We're coming together to share and learn about a sustainable future.
Sustainable Streets is a holistic program that aims to create stronger, more connected and of course more sustainable neighbourhoods at the grassroots level.
If everyone on the planet lived like us, we would be using 4.5 Earths.
That if everyone on the Earth lived like the average Aussie, we would need 5.7 planets to support everyone.
And if we keep doing that, we're going to have nothing left at all. My name's Frank Nichol. I live at 3 Newbury Parade, Brunswick Heads. Nice quiet little country town. And I joined the Sustainable Streets program hoping I'd meet like-minded people as well as get some interesting tips on how to live a more sustainable life. Throughout my life, I've tried to, wherever I've lived, and it's always been a rental property, to have some form of garden. I just love growing things. I think it's an important part of my life particularly. Coming along nicely. Since I did the Sustainable Streets, we've gone from 2 people sharing this garden to 5 people sharing a garden now. 3 of us have been along to the Sustainable Streets meetings a number of times now, and we're putting all of the tips that we're learning into good use in our garden and getting some fantastic results.
The reason that we wanted to look into being more sustainable and joining and attending this community event was that, well, primarily we have children now. We have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and in 30 years' time, you gotta think, well, what are we gonna have left them? And want to try doing as best as we can in order to make sure that they have as good of a future, if not better, than what we had.
We'd already started building when we joined the program, but yeah, we just wanted to make some changes and learn some more, you know, I guess,
just looking at what the design features were for the house. So a bit of it was about the house itself and things like saving water, saving electricity. But I think, yeah, for us, probably more importantly, is what we want to do after the house was finished, which was looking at the yard.
These are our loofah vines that we've just started growing for, well, for a bit of privacy, but also for their beautiful leaves. And I'm really looking forward to eating the loofahs and getting some loofahs. Oh, look, want to put him in? In the front yard, we decided because of the location and the sun, we're going to have our veggie garden and some more fruit trees. And also from a social aspect, I really like the veggie garden being in the front yard, just so that we're out, you know, on the street and sharing and just being, you know, more part of the street, and especially with the kids as well.
You need to put in this big hole. Just hold it. Hold it out.
Through the program, residents are empowered with sustainable living tips, They're also given strategies to reduce their utility costs, their energy and water bills, and as well build social connections in the neighbourhood.
One of the nice things about the program is that our energy bills have gone down a lot with putting on the solar panels and having the solar hot water. So we've gone from about family of 4 of spending about $400 each bill to 68 was our last one, but we're thinking it'll even go down a little bit more.
We got solar power because we could afford to get it because of the rebates and the tariffs. And now, in a way, the incentive to save power is that we actually are generating income. Accounts payable, not more bills. Not the bill. Country Energy. Oh, look, a cheque.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's our energy account refund.
Fantastic.
Yeah, $354.99.
Fabulous.
That our solar power system has generated for us. We do also reduce our power consumption.
I saw how people started to think.
Now we actually turn
We have to get up from the lounge and walk over to the TV, expend personal energy and press the button on the TV, the off button, and then the light goes off. That light was using up the same as a light bulb.
So the sustainability stamps aspect to the program is really about empowering residents to undertake initiatives, but also recognising them for those initiatives that they undertake. So it might be simple things that they've done. It could be planting an organic veggie garden. It could be sharing resources with neighbours. It could be installing a solar hot water system or a solar power system or a rainwater tank.
But we did install a dual flush system that's much more efficient than the one we already have. So that's 20, which is good.
I decided to grow some cucumbers. Unfortunately, I put in too many plants perhaps, but then we've inundated with cucumbers and they've been grown chemical free. So I've brought some to distribute to everyone doing the workshops.
All those actions will earn them points, which they accumulate through the program. At the end of the program, the points are pulled together as a neighbourhood and then used to create their community prize.
Oh, great. Thank you. Fantastic.
Tick things off. So
we'll add it to the total.
Like, what sort of change would you like to make in this community, in your own neighbourhood, by doing a project together?
So with the Mullum Creek Sustainable Streets group, they identified a real need to help prevent wildlife being killed on their semi-rural roads. They're really concerned about their bush regeneration efforts going to waste in that wildlife were using the site but also getting killed on a regular basis.
We chose to put signs for wildlife on Left Bank Road, and I really want that to come together. So that was a good incentive. We didn't want just a normal wildlife sign where everyone see and forget about and it's always the same. We want a sign that will change. This was a good opportunity to create bonding on the street and to get to know the other people by name.
Very good strawberries.
The way where everyone's living at the moment, it's very unsustainable, and so you've got to try and go more towards where it is. If you look around, like, you know, people have got little veggie gardens, and I guess that's a little bit, but, you know, really we need to grow, I guess, a lot more stuff.
With sustainable streets and environmental work, people often forget that there's a huge social networking factor. It's about building social capital, people that come together who might have no other point of engagement except they live in the same area and they want to find out how to live. Maybe sometimes it's just how to live more cheaply, understanding that being more sustainable means that it's more economical.
what we've done in Tweed and Byron Shire is heavily localise the project. So we've listened to our community, we've tapped into existing tutors and sustainability experts in the area and really allowed the residents to have a strong influence over how the program works and is delivered.
So today we're doing our Sustainable Streets cooking class, and the whole idea today is to show people how to cook locally and substitute some of the typical ingredients that use in recipes for local things.
Well, yes, we all have got what we've been searching for. It is our own set of keys to open up love. Our own love to open up love. Set us all.
Okay, so we've got our stuffed zucchini. We've taken the middle out of them, mixed them with the Nimbin brown rice, mixed some wattle seed in the middle, and lemon zest, and some other spices, some pecan nuts, and some Nimbin Valley feta, sheep's feta with a bit of orange zest, and some warrigal green and pecan mint pesto on top.
Yeah, it was just very touching to sit down at this beautiful meal that we'd all helped make, and this incredible feast, and just sit down and eat together. And you know, it's quite a small, intimate group of people, and yeah, I felt it was like nurturing in a way that I don't often feel nurtured.
We joined the Sustainable Streets because we've heard of other areas in our shire that have done them, and I was interested in what they were doing, working together as a community, learning things together as a community, meeting your neighbours, and I'm very interested in sustainability from a point of view of using less resources and living simply. So the people who are involved in the local Sustainable Streets, they had the option of accepting a water limiting shower head, so it saves water, and these were given out by the local, I guess the local council paid for these. I think one of the reasons I did the Sustainable Streets is because I think in the Western world we use far too many resources, and water is definitely one of those resources that there isn't much of in Australia.
We've had an energy audit. It's been really interesting. We now use a shower timer, which we didn't use before, and it's very simple, a little hourglass about that big. We also realised that our footprint here, because we live by the river, we see the impact on nature of what humans do. It's quite horrifying, and we're very fond of the wildlife here.
You know, you're so lucky to live in Brunswick Heads and to live surrounded by, you know, this amazing nature reserve and all this vegetation. And I guess as a bush regenerator, you know, for me, the most important thing is like check your garden for environmental weeds.
They're a threat to the native wildlife in 3 different ways. These are the poison glands, and they're poisonous to our native animals. Down the food chain, they consume very large quantities of animals. They mainly eat ants and beetles. They'll eat small birds, occasionally frogs, and just the quantity of animals that they consume is large. And the competition, because if there's cane toads in an area and there's maybe skinks or other things that eat insects, they're out competing for habitat and for food.
Yeah, it's just like real leather. You can make shoes out of that and bags.
My goal is to grow everything that I eat in my garden. So before the Sustainable Streets initiative, this was just like gravel driveway. It had been a driveway for 100 years. Like, you know, as long as this house has been up. And so I just started mulching, like putting my cardboard down in an attempt to stop the weeds, because the weeds were starting to come up. And then it just sort of morphed into a garden.
Yeah, I've got 4 of them now. Yeah. And I'm looking at
Yeah, I haven't bought any greens. Lately I haven't bought any tomatoes. I don't need cucumbers anymore. I haven't needed basil, herbs.
yeah.
The people are stopping by and chatting to me when I'm in the garden and vice versa. Swapping cuttings, sharing food. So I actually feel like it's really strengthened my feeling of belonging in this community of Mullumbimby. I don't normally put myself out there to do community initiatives. When you see a few years down the track the benefits of having done that, it's really nourished my soul. So they've got many uses, chickens, poo, eggs, pets. You know, they're lovely to watch.
Not you.
This is my little baby chicken. They're just like 12 weeks old. I got her at the markets the other week. They just came out of their little cage yesterday. Say hello. You can see, she did it.
By undertaking simple lifestyle changes, it may be through retrofitting, or it may be through talking to neighbours and sharing some of the knowledge into communities, into workplaces, Sustainable Streets hopes to create the changes that we need to see on a planetary level from the bottom up.
You know, if you care about, your family and the world you live in, it's such a nice way to show that, you love the people around you and the planet. And so I just think it's so important.
Government's role is really about facilitating people to be able to live their lives more fully and more sustainably, to connect at a local level and feel empowered. That's the great thing about Sustainable Streets.
There's so much that we don't know, and we were a bit unsure about how to go ahead with it, so this has really pointed us in the right direction.